No pressure.
No pressure. See, I'm going to walk in front of the camera anyway.
Okay.
I wore the shirt just for you.
Okay. So do we have to do that? Do all the face stretches?
I can go in there.
Ready. So, namaste. So here we are, my daughter's new shop. Lovely space, so much better and bigger than what she had before. How she kept all the fabric in the other place is beyond me. But at least now you can come in, you can browse, and you see all the beautiful things that she has to offer. Here's Andrea.
Thank you for the introduction, Mom.
You're
I was about
welcome,
to do
hon.
mine, but you just like jumped right in there.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and you're watching us from the Quilting Shed here in our new location in Fredericton. Oh my God, so excited. So you're here to help me finish unpacking the notions, which we've procrastinated on. But
Okay.
before that, I thought we'd do a video and we would talk about you and your quilting journey.
Okay,
It's all about you.
it's all about me.
It's your birthday month.
Okay. My sewing ability started when I was 5 years of age. Your Aunt Nanny Daly tried to teach me how to sew. Complete disaster because I lost the needle, but I found it shortly afterwards when I sat on it.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like in your sister.
Pardon?
I thought it was going to be in your sister.
No, that's another story.
Okay.
So anyways, that was it for me. I could not sew. I basically did some home ec, and most of the time, Mom helped me look after that. Luckily for Andrea, her grandmothers were both gifted seamstress and could sew anything.
That's good. Yes.
When I was turning 50, I thought I should learn how to quilt. So when I retire, that's what I'll do. I was so naive and so inept that I used to bribe my friend Jennifer with bottles of wine to come down and thread my bobbins for me.
You're not the only like sewer that sews with wine. It's like a thing.
Yeah, I don't sew with wine. I don't drink. But I mean, it's a great
Well,
way
she
to,
does.
get your friends in there to do the labor work. It's just like how you get me to work for fabric, for scrap. Same thing, same principle. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Save money.
That works.
Everybody's
Wine,
happy. Yeah.
fabric.
Feed their addictions and get your work done. Works
Like
for
people
me.
bribe me with like tea and cookies.
Exactly.
I mean, it works. Okay.
Listen, if anybody wants to bring in cookies, good on you. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Okay.
So anyways, when I was 50 and I was living in the Miramichi, Jeanette Vigneault was running a fabric shop. And it was like a discount fabric shop.
The fabric by the pound.
Fabric by the pound,
Remember
exactly. She would go to the mills in Ontario and she'd buy fabric. So she started having quilting classes. And she basically taught me how to sew.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And I'd go once or twice a week. My first quilt, which is my death quilt, because it has more DNA on it than any other thing I own. I took it apart 7 times.
Death quilt. That's
Yep.
a family term.
Yeah. And when I go, it goes with me. And since then, it's just been an addiction.
Oh, yes, like the rest of us. Because
Exactly.
you say it skips generations.
Yeah, well, it comes back. It's like anything else. It's a fine line between addiction and a passion.
Right. So when I moved up to the Miramichi, you were already quilting.
Yes.
And then I got back into quilting because they did all like the modern quilting stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how I got back into it.
Mm-hmm.
So the quilting, I noticed, I dug out some of my mom's quilts. This one I haven't finished. And I noticed your style has really progressed over the past 10,
You
15
think?
years.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I tell people a lot that you like to do really scrappy quilts. And
Exactly.
you specialize in the rainbow scrappy.
Yep.
Rainbow scrappy is where you take all your scraps from one color value, like all your red scraps.
Yep.
And you sew them together in a
Yep.
block. And you like to do the foundation stuff.
Exactly.
That's what this
Yeah.
is.
And this is what gets me. Somebody will say, well, you're not a quilter because you don't do it by hand. I cannot quilt by hand. There's just no way. I was born left-handed, but then I went to parochial school, was switched over to my right hand with the help of a ruler.
And nuns.
Yeah, and nuns. And so I have no dexterity in my hands.
Same here.
Exactly. Hey, we must be related.
Oh
You
my
think?
God.
Oh my God. So nice to meet you. So
It's like, do you see twins? It's like,
you think?
Yeah.
Me and
Okay.
mini-me. Anyways, what I like about scrappy quilts,
right,
it's, to me, I'm a traditional quilter because that's how quilts started,
right,
out of necessity.
right.
I have one of your great-grandmother's quilt that was, I think she did it in 1965 when Woolco was first opened,
Nanny Werner?
Annie Werner, and she did everything by hand.
Yeah,
And I have a few vintage quilts, and they're beautiful, but they're just not me.
right.
I want a quilt that the kids can love. As you know, there's quilts that have been drugged through your house many times and through yards and everything else. So a scrappy quilt works best for me, and a machine quilted quilt works best for me.
Because it lasts.
Because it lasts. And,
Yeah.
and that's what, to me, a quilt is an expression of love.
Aww.
So it should last a real long time. I'm
Aw.
quite sure that I have quilts. I think we bought it for your brother when he was born, or no, for John Andrew when he was born. He would be in his, what old is now? Holy God. He's
I don't
60
know.
something, or just
Really?
60. Yeah, something like that.
Oh my god.
Anyways, so that's what I like about machine quilted quilts. They last.
They just last.
Quilts to
I
me,
do have one of Bob's quilts. But
Yeah.
That's hand quilted, but I think little Nanny made it
either that or we get it at a tea sale,
or something.
craft sale,
God only
years
knows.
ago when John
There's
Douglas
too
was
many,
first born.
and none of them are labeled.
None of them labeled. Yeah, that's another important thing. Label them or take pictures of them. So I'm completely off the train of thoughts. What were we talking about, Andrea? About quilts.
Scrappy
and-
quilts. You make scrappy
Scrappy
quilts,
quilts,
and you
yeah.
machine do them because they last longer.
Exactly.
Because everybody drags them
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You've seen my grandkids
Yeah.
and the quilts.
Yep.
Yeah, like Ayla didn't realize that quilt I made for her that time is actually white. I took it home and washed it and brought it back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, it's white.
But a quilt's loved.
Yeah.
You know,
It was not white anymore.
there are quilts, like there are quilts, which for me, you should put away someplace or hang on the wall. But the rest of them, bring them out, use them. Like
Yeah.
I switch my quilts over with every season. And now I'm
Good.
starting Christmas quilts for everybody.
Christmas quilts, but we're going to talk about, I dug this one out because
Yes.
it's a summer quilt and you intended it to
Exactly.
be a summer
Yep.
quilt. And some people don't know what a summer quilt is.
A summer quilt originated in the southern part of the United States, and it's a quilt that has a very loose, very, what's the word I want, Andrea?
Minimal? Thin?
Minimal backing. And basically, sometimes it's just backed with batting,
Yeah.
with the sheet. So this one, I did it on strips of fabric. And when I'm doing summer quilts, whatever strips I can find, whatever I have, I use.
This feels like an old sheet.
It is an old sheet. 300 count sheets are perfect, providing they're 100% cotton.
I'm glad you said that because people say don't use sheets, and I'm like, you can use sheets
Yep.
as long as they meet certain criteria. 300 count and cotton. Don't
Cotton.
use microfiber. Don't use high count.
Exactly. 600 counts is very hard, difficult to work with.
Yeah, and I've
It's
gotten
almost
some
stiff.
like
Yeah.
cheap Walmart. Like one time when we still had Zellers,
Yeah.
I bought like a $5 sheet.
Yeah.
And it was very loosely woven.
A cheat sheet.
A cheat sheet.
cheat. Yeah. Okay.
It was very loosely woven, and I don't think I would do that again. But I knew when I got it, it was really cheap. But it
Yeah.
was too loose. I don't know what the thread count was, but it was too loose.
So
So, yeah,
loosely
this-
woven wouldn't be difficult. It wouldn't be bad for inside.
Inside, no,
Yeah. For the batting.
for the batting.
But for a backing, a sheet works perfect. And again, you know it's going to last because it's cotton. It's 300 counts, so
Right.
it take a lot of wear and tear.
So you just went through your green scraps.
That's all I did. And I was trying to teach myself how to do a
Chevron?
chevron.
A friendship braid,
Big
maybe?
word, yeah. And
You didn't use a pattern.
didn't use a pattern.
You
This
don't
fabric
use patterns.
Was from Marden's.
Uh-huh.
It was a jelly roll,
Okay.
and there's no truth in the fact that it's 2.5 inches wide. They were all various sizes, so. Yeah, that's been a while since I did that.
Yeah, it's been
And one of
ages.
this day, Megan, you will get this quilt.
So yeah, I'm not gonna quilt this with any
No.
batting, and I'm just gonna do probably stitch in the ditch.
Yep.
Stitch in the ditch, and I'm just gonna put the back on it with no batting because you've got the foundation, and I dug out the back too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
'Cause you like to do pieced backs.
Yep.
And and you just use stuff that you use on the front. What?
This is an IKEA duvet cover that has been haunting us since I bought it. It's in every piece of quilt, every
Is
quilt
this
I
like
made.
one of those fabrics that won't die?
It's like the brown fabric in Addison's horse quilt
Oh my good lord!
or Addison's tablecloth
Yeah,
Perfect,
the tablecloth fabric.
fabric.
When I made a shirt when Addison was a baby.
Yeah.
So you just used for the back here
Strips.
big old strips.
This was a piece of fabric that I picked up at Value Village or someplace like that. It wasn't my color or anything, but I thought, hey,
Yeah.
I'll
that's
use
one-
that one of these days.
Is that one fabric?
That's one piece of fabric, yeah.
Oh, and you just put extra on the
I
ends.
just did the notorious IKEA.
IKEA duvet fabric
cover.
just to keep it going.
Yep. Exactly.
See, but if you had a bunch of strips, you could do this.
You could do the exact same thing.
And the fact
And
that this is
it's
olive green and
real
that is bright green
green,
is
And it's really
No big
good
deal.
for ugly quilt. Ugly fabric.
Ugly fabric.
Ugly fabric.
We'll fold this later.
Yeah.
We will fold that later. So we can take this one off.
Yeah.
I talk about this quilt all the time.
Which one? This one?
This one. Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is one of the first ones I ever did. And it was called Cowboy something or other. It was from a quilting magazine. Probably the last time I read. This is coming on down here.
Yeah, some of it's coming on.
Yeah. And this is just pieces of fabric that I bummed. People gave me. You used to be able to buy bags of scrap fabric like at Woolco and Woolworths and places like that.
Yeah.
They were really low quality fabric.
Like this piece is even pieced in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You just threw it all in there.
Threw it all into there. Exactly.
I like that because you just were like, let's just keep adding borders because
Yeah.
I'm tired.
And that's, for a long time, I used to be known as the border queen because if it didn't fit, oh well, put another border on it.
Yeah, just keep going. I think this one got nibbled by a mouse.
Yeah, probably.
That's
This one went
Really
to Emma,
terrible.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, the backing is a sheet.
I did not quilt this.
No, this was one of Jeanette's. Yeah.
And it's got polyester batting in it.
Yeah.
It's fine because you can see it's been drug all over the house.
So this would have been
Multiple
in
houses.
the early 2000s.
Yep.
She would charge me $25.
I remember because
To
I
do
got
a
her
quilt.
to do one of the first
Yeah.
quilts I did back then.
Yeah.
After I moved up to Miramichi because
Yeah.
I made Ron's lap quilt
Mm-hmm.
and she only charged me $40 just
Yep.
to like stitch in the ditch.
Yep.
That was it.
And these were traditionally, she used to do a lot of what we call Acadian quilts.
Yeah.
They were just quilts like this. They were just, it didn't matter what color they were, they went together. This, I try to keep more of a, quite sure I was doing this for Emma or Sarah.
Probably Sarah because
Yeah.
it's blue.
Blue, yes, Sarah's favorite color. And so with the Acadian quilts, I still have some of those
Mm-hmm.
that she did. And again, I think she charged me $40 for an actual quilt so I could have just extra quilts when the kids came to visit.
And I like, people don't like working with checks or plaids, but I like how you just, like, yeah, screw
Yeah.
it. I'm throwing it in there.
I'm learning to work with checks and plaids. There are some fabrics I just can't handle,
Yeah.
but I noticed
There's everything in here.
a stripe fabric, if you have a very small border, really
Yeah.
makes a statement. Really
It does.
not binds it, makes borders it. Yeah, big word.
It does add something. Look at
This
look
is
at
my
fabric
early
right
work. I mean, I've
here. This
improved
is
since
so old. You do
Yeah.
not make quilts like this
No.
anymore, which is kind of a good thing. I mean that in the nicest way. Look how much your work has improved. You can
Yep.
even see from this one to that one.
Yep.
And finally, because I don't have any of your recent quilts.
Well, we'll have to do another one.
This is when we started to get serious.
Yes, and this was for Ron,
And me.
from, my favorite son-in-law, and you. You just happen to
There's
be.
a label.
And this was quilt. Here it is.
That the label wasn't it for our
To
anniversary?
my daughter and son-in-law, Ron and Andrew, and a love mom, 2003.
See, we labeled this one. It was a big deal.
Was it anniversary or his birthday or something?
I think it was anniversary.
Yeah, something
You
like
made
that.
it look nice.
Something about something.
It was an occasion.
It was an occasion.
Cause you like we matched everything.
And this was my first traditional quilt. It was a trip around the world, and I've made many since, and it's
I was
still one
gonna
of my
say.
favorite patterns.
Was this the kickoff to your trips around the world?
But again, the ubiquitous borders. I
Borders,
just ordered
yeah,
another
just
border
bigger.
order on.
yeah, that one's.
Yeah.
Your 1/4 inch seam accuracy has been improving.
Oh, it certainly has. I used to work with an eighth of an inch seam.
No.
Oh, yeah,
No. See, they pull apart.
I know. That's what happened. That's when I found that out.
They pull apart. We don't have to take this off because it's the last one.
Okay.
Any more of that?
I don't think so. You can tell by the colors that it came from the early 2000s. That
Yeah, it's very
forest
90s.
green,
It's very 90s.
Yeah.
I painted my bedroom forest green,
Mm.
so we got this to match.
Same colors of countertops and Dexter
Your
Street.
whole-
Yep.
And the florals.
Florals. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't make them like this anymore.
No, not at
For
all.
really good reasons.
Not at all.
So that's it for your quilts for now.
Yeah.
We can do this again.
Okay.
And now I have to put you to work.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about what you brought for lunch? You brought lunch.
Good God. I have to bring my own lunch.
Yeah, you brought your own tea. I don't have a kettle here yet.
I know. Well,
We didn't get to it.
as long as I bring my tea with everything. So, we have napkins.
Of course.
I have my china teacup. These are non-gluten.
Gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Well, yeah, they're corn chips.
Here's our plates because I knew you wouldn't have anything. And our forks.
Paper plates don't exist in your world.
I know. So we have funeral sandwiches. Cream cheese and cherry. and ham and relish. I knew you'd love it.
Oh boy,
And I made
that dip.
that dip with all
That
kinds
dip I
of
like. What's it called? Confetti dip?
confetti dip. Yep.
Okay.
I finally found a recipe in an old
Really?
cookbook from Sussex. Yeah. So,
Have you been doing it out of your head all this time?
no, because I knew I'd screw it up.
Okay.
So all kinds of fresh vegetables because we need a balanced one,
This is a light one.
a light one, and banana cake like Nanny used to make with lemon icing on it, but no dates. And potato chips and cutlery.
There you have
So,
it.
There you go.
There you have it. My mom is fancy.
I will pack picnic lunches for anybody who gives me scraps.
This is true.
Yep.
This is true. So if you have scraps you don't want, my mom will take them.
I'll take them. Thank you, Angela. Angela was one of the big supporter of scraps for me, and I just love
How'd
it
you
when I
get
have
that all in
scraps. I don't know, not as neatly as it's going back in there, but
We'll have
the
to eat
magic
first.
of the editing. There you go. Looks wonderful.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
and I got you a present.
You brought me a present?
I bought you a present.
I didn't get you a present, but
I know.
I
know.
have this shop here, so I could probably find something.
Licorice.
Oh, I need it. The family bag size. I'm the only one who eats it.
I know. You could use it in your shop. And for your shop, three coffee mugs. Aren't they nice size?
Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah.
For guests.
For guests, yeah, or for us. Yeah. There we go.
It's a good thing I have a sink to wash them in.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Now you just need a table set up with your teapot and everything like that.
Yeah, we didn't get that far yet.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I gotta go back to work.
Yep.
It's lovely meeting you all. I know there'll be other videos. Take care. God bless. See you soon.
Bye.
Where's the fabric scraps? Okay. What are we gonna get done there?
Oh my God, that was hilarious.